Hi, I'm Kathy Baldock, a straight evangelical Christian and the director of Canyon Walker Connections, with the mission to repair the breach between the Christian church and the gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender Christian communities through education, engagement, and encouragement. Hateful words about the gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender communities have been spoken by pastors, and now they are being uncovered, and often they go viral. If you're like most Christians, you're growing increasingly disgusted with the public representation of Jesus that does not resonate with how you express or live your faith. I can tell that the frustration is growing from the conversations I have and the mail that I get. Both the intensity of the hate and the concerns are increasing. Churches filled with good and caring Christian people do not know how to respond. You hear statements from pastors and Christian leaders, and those statements often do not align with what you see in the lives of your gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender friends and family. Lies and half-truths are regularly being told, and when duct taped together with the Bible verses, the entire statement is presented as truth. Christians must make a decision to get educated on the issues of same-sex attracted people and the Bible and the Constitution that offers equality to all U.S. citizens. Pastors, too, may be uneducated on the issues about gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender people. They seem to live in a bubble, ignoring research and information from experts that have known for 40 years that homosexuality is just a normal variation of human sexuality, yet many insist that it is not. Others will teach that sexual orientation can be changed. It cannot. Even the most noted of Christian ministries that have long offered the change is possible are retracting those promises. Most of us has heard the disgusting outbursts of pastors who rail against the gay community. But what about the other lies that are told by seemingly educated, gentle pastors to congregations of kind and compassionate followers? They're just as harmful and demeaning. Here are two lies I regularly hear from pastors, and they quote them. There are two examples from pulpits of megachurches. Both of these recent ones happened in Texas. One nationally known pastor informed his congregation of 10,000 that same-sex marriage will not work because married gay men will often have 8 partners in their first year of marriage. Where does this often repeated number come from? Well, it's called a variation on the words the Dutch marriage study. It was actually a study to investigate the transmission of HIV/AIDS. The control groups were inner-city gay men already engaged in risky same-sex behavior, and they had to be under 30 and not monogamous. The study took place from 1984 to 1996, a full 5 years before the same-sex marriage was made legal in the Netherlands. And they were studying the transmission of AIDS in high-risk, non-monogamous groups of young gay men. And this is called the Dutch marriage study by pastors and religious leaders, telling you that research says that gay men are not able to be in committed marriage relationships. And 2 weeks ago, another well-known Texas pastor with a congregation of over 8,000 told his congregants that the average gay man died at the age of 41 and at 37 if he had AIDS, and further, that only 1% of gay men lived to old age. And where was this gem of wisdom obtained? From Paul Cameron, the completely discredited junk researcher and darling of the conservative right. At the height of the AIDS epidemic in 1992, Cameron collected over 6,500 obituaries from 16 gay newspapers over a year, and he arrived at the average age of death of 41 for gay men. This is scientific research worth repeating in the house of God over and over. This wholly discredited half-truth has been pulpit-worthy for 2 decades. We just have to get better at hearing and responding to these lies. While Christians remain passive and ignorant on these issues, gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender people, and even those that are believers, are being dehumanized and denied civil rights. You must speak up. In your silence, often the most prominent Christian voices being heard is filled with sacred hate, lies, and half-truths. Sacred hate has become rampant. If you hear the lies and the hate coming from your pulpit, stand up, move to the side, bow your heads, and do not sit under these teachings. Leave these churches and tell them why you're leaving. I'm Kathy Baldock with Canyon Walker Connections. Get educated, stand up, and speak out.